countrymen, lend me your ear. My name is Dara, and this is Dear Hallmark. I normally do reviews of Hallmark Channel movies by myself, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that I am not by myself today. And if you're listening via podcast, you probably saw through the title that I'm not by myself today. You guys, I am joined by one of my favorites, the talented, the kind, the beautiful, the genuine, Miss Erin Cahill. Erin, how are you doing? Thank you for being here.
Hi, darling. I'm so happy to be here. We've been talking about this for, going on a year.
Yeah.
So I am thrilled. Yeah.
Yes. Do
My,
you do you
my
remember?
husband's outside my office window. For everybody on YouTube who just saw me wave, he was just waving bye because he's running an errand for me because my
Oh,
office is on the ground floor of our house.
yeah.
So I'm like, bye,
That's
baby. Yeah.
so cute. I love that. So
And you know Paul. Yeah.
yes. So,
You
do you
met him.
remember when we first met at the Christmas con party in 2021? We were at it was Christopher Palaha's, what was it, like a screener or something? His movie was premiering that night. And they had a
Mhm.
little shindigorama for him at a restaurant. And
I
that's,
remember it was the restaurant bar of the hotel.
yes.
And I very much remember meeting you because you were adorable and you were like, I'm so excited to meet you. And I was like, I know who you are and I'm excited to meet you too.
That was so, because I remember you told me that I came in smiling, and I've always wanted to tell you this because you said you just came in smiling so radiant, and I just loved it. And I think I was smiling because I couldn't see because of the glare, the glare of the lights as it was hitting the people, the glare of the lights as it was hitting the people, the way it interacted with my eyes. I was like, there's someone over there that I think that I know, but I'm not too sure, but I'm going to smile anyway, just in case. So I was just like, well, hello, everybody.
Oh, that's hilarious. And here I
Yes.
was like, you just came spreading radiance and
I mean,
just like
I wanted to, but I couldn't see. That was the realness of it. But I want to start off getting into the crux of our conversation with just a little icebreaker question. So, Aaron, what is a song, an album, or an artist that you've just had on repeat lately?
well, the artist, and I have to say it's just shameless plug, but guys, my husband, Paul Freeman,
Yes.
is an incredible musician. Incredible, incredible. He's actually got, shameless, and I don't even know if he wants me to talk about it, but oh well. He's got a new album that's being mixed that's going to come out
Oh,
towards the end
that's
of the
so
year. That
awesome.
is, that is, you'll dance, you'll cry. Uh, so he's my like, he comes up in my shuffle literally all the time on my phone. I guess algorithms, but also because he's genius. So high recommend my husband. And just like the whole world, I've been on this massive Brandy Carlisle kick
Okay.
since last summer. I went to see her because my husband played a show before her in Woodstock last summer.
Oh, wow.
Um, and so I had kind of been a fan of her music. I was a fan, but not like a mega fan.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to meet her, but we walked by her backstage, and I was like, oh my god, she glows. And I saw her, and I was like, because of where we were sat kind of in the middle and kind of like directly in her eyeline.
Mhm.
I was standing up like the whole show. By that point, I knew all her music. I was obsessed. So I literally during it, I was like, I kept turning to Paul, being like, do you think she sees me? Do you think Brandy, I love her. Do you think she sees me? Like
Oh my
such a girl crush on her. I think she's magnificent. So that's who. Like the tour, the Brandy Carlisle and Pink tour.
God. Mhm.
I can't. Like my brain's gonna explode at the thought of that. Um, so those are just off the top of my head, I would say, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. For me, I've been in like a
Yeah.
soul R&B, like it's been a cross between Music Soul Child and then this rapper Mike Teasy. He just came out with this Greenhouse project, and I like storytelling projects. So like if your album conveys, like if there's an overarching story, that's what hooks me in. And his has like the theme, has as he's been releasing albums, there's been this theme of planting, growing, harvesting, and so now he has this album called The Greenhouse Project, which is like the fullness of himself, like him reaching his fullest
Ooh.
potential and wrap
This
it
is
through.
me in my office for a piece of paper to write that down.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. And now that Mike Teasy, he's like, oh gosh, he's genre bending now because he's leaning into pop, but his base is like hip hop R&B. So that's what I've had on
Wait, I'm not even kidding. I'm writing this down because I'm that girl. If I like, I mean, twice in the last couple of weeks, I've seen something somebody's wearing. And I've been like, where did you get that? And I bought it. Like, I will
yes.
listen to the music. I will watch the movie. I will do all the things. So
I
what is
love
it? Can
that.
you spell this for me? Mike Teasy,
Yeah,
The Greenhouse Project.
Teezy. Yeah, and it just came out, so it's freshly pressed.
Thank you. Literally. And I would show you, but my handwriting is so terrible. But now I have this note on
No.
my desk. So I'm super,
Yes.
you can't even see it's the light is so bad in here. But anyway, yay. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So Erin, I want to ask you when if someone were to ask you, Erin, like, why do you love acting so much? What is it about acting that keeps you in the audition rooms, on sets at crazy hours? Because you guys do crazy hours with these when you film these movies. What would your answer be?
I love that question. Dara, I knew you were going to give me great questions. Um, first of all, first of all, it's so funny. Like I love you said what keeps you in audition rooms. I literally taped an audition yesterday on Easter because it was due this morning, and we had house guests, and one of my friends is an amazing actress and coach, and she happened to be here. Anyway, but I was thinking about that. I was like, gosh, I must love this to do
Mm,
it on a holiday with house guests here. Um, so your timing is just awesome. You know, I think for me, I did my first play when I was 4 because of my mom, and that's how I got into it. And people would always be, and I was like, that's what I want to do, like from
mm,
4. And people would be like, why? And I would be like, to make people happy, which I thought was such an interesting answer looking back as like an adult
mm,
on that I would say that as a kid.
mhm.
But I think there's something about storytelling that connects, it's in any form, whether it's art or music or, it's like that's one of the oldest things we have as humans, right? We would be in our communities and our tiny communities telling stories to each other and
Mm.
drawing art in the wall and singing and like so it's the thing to me that gives humanity a soul and that we all can connect and express through. Otherwise it's just like we're human doings instead of human beings.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, I'm literally about to burst into 100 butterflies right now because if that hasn't been the theme, like okay. No, you don't
tell me
understand
everything.
how perfect this is. So I've been doing this theme called the Dear Hallmark Masterclass where I've been interviewing kind of people more behind the scenes, so like directors, costume designers, writers, producers, and the
Yes, I saw
theme.
that on your page, which is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Like the theme that constantly comes up is storytelling. And it just makes me so happy that that's this one thread that's pulled through everyone's story, even though their personal interest in the film is different. Everyone's still on this single thread of storytelling. And I think it's just so beautiful. And so when you mentioned storytelling, I was like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to because it's one of my favorite things, and me being a writer, I just love just that we even as humans have the chance to go into another world with our imagination. And the film world is so new to me as an aspect of storytelling. So it's been so beautiful and interesting to just hear people's perspective on storytelling from that vantage point. So,
I I first of all, I love your big heart. And I think that's it too, right? Like storytelling brings out our emotions and we get to feel all these things and that's what we want, right? We want to
yeah.
live and feel while we're here. And I love that you feel so big and that you're like storytelling and that you've been talking to people. Like I said, I saw it on your page. I was so impressed that you've been talking to people from all different all different facets of the industry. I just think it's first of all really important because you cannot make a movie on your own. You cannot
Yeah.
put an album out on your own, like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of art takes a village. Not all of it. Some of it is kind of more singular,
Mhm.
but I love that. And yeah, I could talk about it forever. And it's like I just keep saying, I just want to keep telling good stories, and
Mhm.
preferably with my friends and people I love.
Yeah.
Like if I can just tell good stories with my friends for the rest of my life, like, stories that make people feel something, that touch them, and, evoke, and sometimes sometimes you just gotta cry it out. Literally the other day I was just like whatever, PMSing, and we are all humans, we all have bad days. And I was like, I think I might put on My Girl and cry today. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like art is
Mhm.
amazing because you can have those days and you can have
Mhm.
those projects, or you can have like, what Hallmark does, and you're like, I think I want to be really inspired today. Or
Mm.
also, sometimes Hallmark does all of it, and you cry and be inspired. Anyway, I could talk about it forever, but here's the storytellers, my darling.
Yes, cheers with my imaginary glass. Yes.
Yes, I've got water. Cheers.
Hey, I'll bring my big bottle of water that I have.
Yeah.
So, would you say that that is like, and I mentioned this earlier, because there could be some aspects of the job that, of course, is grueling and technical, as is with any passion or any job. But would you say that that storytelling is your overall motivation for you to keep going when you find yourself in those hard moments on set? Or if not, what would be?
Gosh, I think that's such a great question, because I always say, I'm just adjusting a little. I'm in my office. I told you. Because I always say that, you know, being in this industry is like any relationship, and relationships have ups and downs.
Mm,
So, because you have a relationship with your art, you have a relationship with your career, everything is a relationship, and it's how you relate to it as well. So, I always think like, I always joke that the industry, she's like a cruel mistress. When she's
mm,
being wonderful, it's like the best. But when she turns her back on you, it's like the sun has turned away, and it's like
mm,
it's a so it's like it's ups and downs. And I think for me it's so funny. Definitely storytelling, um but also the human connection. There's this I just love being on set. I love being in front of the camera, but I also love, I've started producing. I've only gotten the honor of producing a couple, but I love being on set and helping create and be with the creative humans on set. And like even when it's
mm,
hard, and even when it's tough, I think for me it's the people.
mm.
So I would say it's like hand in hand. It's the storytelling, but it's also the familial aspect of a set.
That segues into my next question. I was going to ask, because we've known you so much for being in front of the camera and because you have such a passion for it, do you think that passion would ever translate to being behind the camera? But you kind of hinted at it there. How did
Yeah.
that producing bug get started in you? What was that like?
You know, because actually it was a producer I worked with, Debbie Singh. I worked with her on a movie called The Muse. And I should text her actually. I'm just gonna jot that down really quick. I haven't talked to her in a really long time. She I have this new practice I'm trying, where if I think of somebody, I text them right away, or I write it down to text them right away,
I
because
love that.
we all got so, yeah, and it's just a practice, and I'm not perfect at it. Sometimes I'll wake up 2 weeks later and be like, I never, but I've been thinking about, but it's like we all got so disconnected in the pandemic, or it feels like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my practice. But yeah, so this producer, I when I got, it was a thriller, and really fun script, really fun part. I worked with Antonio Cupo on it, and that's where I met him. And so I sat down with her and the director, and I gave all these notes, not just like some dialogue stuff, but like for the story, and I was like, I hope you don't mind. I hope I'm not overstepping, but the other characters, and here's kind of what. And she was like, have you ever thought about producing? Because I was saying things like, well, look, budgetarily, I don't think I think that it would be better if we combine these two scenes and we can do this. And she was like, and I was like, I've actually wanted to. And I kind of had started collecting ideas from other people. I had been approached by a couple writers I'd worked with and directors I'd worked with in the past. And they were like, oh, I thought of you for this, or, oh, you were kind of my muse for this. So I'd had a couple things I'd already started collecting just naturally from friends. So it
Mhm.
just all evolved naturally. I mean, I've worked my butt off, and it took me years to get even one thing produced. And so
Mhm.
far, of the two, only one has actually made it to screen. But but I love it. I'm
Yeah,
in love with it. And like I got to hire my friends. What a dream life is that? That's my dream.
I love that.
I just
I
want to
love
work with
that.
my friends, forever. Yeah.
Telling stories. I mean, what a life, you know?
Yeah.
What a
And
life.
like, and it just worked so great because my producing partner on that had been wanting to work with Hallmark, and he was almost there, and I just happened to be the thing that worked. So now he's
Mm.
done a few movies with them. I don't know how many, 3 or 4 at this point. And then one of my friends I brought into Hallmark, she's done like 3 or 4 with them at this point. And like another one of the cast that we brought into Hallmark that and whatever. It was just like this beautiful, like, that's my dream. All my friends not only working together, but then all these beautiful relationships budding and everybody getting to have abundance and happiness. That's like I'm like over the moon about it.
Whew. Well, first of all, you are an excellent basketball player because you were setting me up for all of these assists for these questions. Like these segues are perfect. So,
Guys, I did not do the questions beforehand. This was
no,
this is honestly I didn't.
this is great because I wanted to, and I talked with you a little bit about this at Ramadrama West Palm Beach. We had a chance to sit down in a private meet and greet that they had. But the first Hallmark movie that I saw you in was A Timeless Christmas. Ah! Moment of silence because that one is just
Yeah.
that's that was just so good.
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
good.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you
Thank
made
you.
me like you arrested my attention and I mean that with like every sense of the word, like with how you came to the role, performed it, everything about what you did with The Timeless Christmas. I said, who is this and why don't I know her? And I
Oh.
so I want to ask you, how did your journey venture into Hallmark land? How did that come about?
I love that question. First of all, thank you. Thank you, thank you,
Mhm.
thank you for all of that. But it's so funny. I have sang it out on interviews to the producer, to the network. I loved that movie. I would do a sequel in a heartbeat. I would work with Ryan Pavey again in a heartbeat. Like, please, just and Ryan and I keep saying, I'm like, put us in a movie there. But yeah, that was like a magical, and Ron Oliver, the director. Uh,
Everything
just the
just
whole thing was
clicked.
a dream.
Yes, it just
It
it was literally lightning
Yeah.
or Christmas lightning in a bottle. That's what it was.
Snowflakes in a snow globe. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Yeah, that was so bad, guys. Somewhere my grandma listening just went, "Oh, Erin." Um, uh, my grandma's super present on my mind because I'm flying her out to our house. She's not seen our house, so for her 91st birthday, I collected all these sky miles and I'm bringing her out. I'm
Oh,
so excited.
that's so precious. I
So she's
love
on the
that.
she's on the foreground of my mind.
Oh,
Um, wait, what was how I got in home. So I was like, what was the question? Uh so like it actually is a kind of a random story. I'm so surprised you don't know. Or not surprised you don't know because it's super random. So I spent, I don't know how, let's call it 15 years of my career crying and dying. My family was like, please stop that. And I was like, I don't know how. This is just what I keep getting hired for. Um, so I was like, just doing all these like dramas and thrillers uh I'm so grateful, I love my job, but I auditioned, and I'll never forget it. I don't remember the movie exactly, but I'll never forget this experience because I was at a wake for a friend, like a friend of a friend, but a friend.
mhm.
uh and I had this audition for this thriller, and I told my reps, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And I called them, and they were like, listen, no pressure. They're there till whatever. They're going to wait for you if you want. Um, and a friend of mine was like, where is it at the wake? And it was coming to an end, and I had been there for a while. And she was like, it's literally like 10 minutes away. You have to go. And I went, you know what? I'm going to go. By the way, I've had a little bit of a sore throat, so
No, please, by all
I'm going to keep
means.
taking sips of water.
Yeah.
So thank you. So yeah, I went to this audition, and at the end of the audition, we just ended up, just the whole office, we just chatted and had, like, even though I had come from a sad moment, we had this great time in the room, and we were laughing, and I told them where I came from, but we ended up talking about life and laughing, and we just all got along. Did not get that movie. Didn't hear anything. All of a sudden, I'm in France before, like, 3 days before our wedding, and I get an email from my reps saying, "Give us a call. We know it's a time difference, so call us." I got an offer for uh, slave slave. Oh my god, slave runaway slave. Oh my god, all I can think is Slave Bells Ring. My movie with Dave Alpay, produced by Maura Dunbar. I know everything else about it. It changed names like 4 times. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Dara, Dara, don't tell anybody. Don't
I won't if
tell.
you won't. I won't if you won't.
Okay, okay, I won't tell.
Okay.
Oh my god. But I so get this call, and I'm like, and we were paying for our own wedding, and so, and we were there, like, and it was heaven, but we were definitely like, cool. We're gonna start our marriage in a little bit of debt, but that's fine. All good. And I got this offer for a rom com, like, right before our wedding, and I was just like, what? Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you. Adorable script. And then I found out it was with Dave Alpay. And like, I mean, what? Heaven, heaven, heaven. And I get a set and they're like, yeah, this is being sold to Hallmark. So it wasn't a Hallmark proper, it was an acquisition.
Okay.
And when I found that out, I was like, how did this happen? Pardon me. I literally was sick last week. I'm fine.
You're okay.
But so my reps traced it back to it was that same casting office. They just thought I seemed like, I guess they thought I seemed like a rom-com girl. So that's how it happened. I literally just got a random offer for this wonderful movie. And then sorry, pardon me. From there, I just got on their radar, and it's been a love affair ever since. And I'm so unbelievably grateful.
Well, that makes like I'm not surprised that they thought that because your personality in general, like you're very warm and lively and bubbly. So I could see
Oh,
why they thought that. Absolutely.
thank you. I was like, no, I am so sorry. But to be fair, I was on a sitcom like a couple years before that. So I forgot about that. I cried and died mostly, but I was on a sitcom, and I had done some comedies. I've done like How I Met Your Mother and things like that. So I did have that under my belt, but I had just been like on a big run of crying and dying. So for like years. So I was just, that's where it came from. I was like, what? But it just was this perfect storm, and I couldn't be more grateful, because if you'd asked me, 10 years ago, where I thought I would be in my career and what I thought would be happening, I couldn't have predicted that I would have found such a home in Hallmark. Like, I love them. I'm so in love with it. I'm so grateful.
As are we, because and it you just like you put the star on the Christmas tree when it was announced that you signed a deal with Hallmark Media, which
Aw.
I before they changed their name, I used to say people got locked down by the crown, but they've changed their name, so I can't say that anymore. I gotta try to, I gotta like finagle that somehow. But I that was one where I was like, that makes so much sense. Like you embody what Hallmark's brand is in terms of bringing light and love wherever they go and inspiring people both on screen and off the screen. So I mean as a viewer, that was a perfect marriage for sure. For sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When my reps called with the deal, I was like, what? Wait, what? I genuinely was confused. So
Whoa,
thank you. But like
absolutely.
grateful and joyful and so happy, and like, what is this dream? But I was like, how did I'm just thankful. And it's so funny. I'm like, I hope you guys don't mind just hearing how constantly joyful and grateful I am to be here. Like I tell them all the time. I'm like, I'm not kissing up. I just don't even know how I ended up here. And I'm just so thankful. Yay.
Now, can we talk about your latest movie in your Hallmark canon, which stars one Mr. Marco Grazzini, titled Hearts in the Game? And before I let you at it to explain, let me just tell you what this movie means to me already without even knowing anything. So, as I've told you, you're one of my favorites, right? Marco has quickly become one of my favorites with his last movie. And so when I'm scrolling, right, I'm scrolling on the thing. The April movies are out. And I look at that last one and I say, wait a
Yeah.
minute, that says Erin Cahill and Marco Grazzini. I screamed. It was like putting dynamite and dynamite. And I mean that by no like I legit screamed. I said, "Wait a minute now." And I was so excited. I was and still am so
Aw.
excited that you two were paired together because you're both the creme de la creme in my book. And now to see the both of you guys together and you're playing like this boss lady, I was like, yes, but I'm gonna let you explain it. Erin Cahill,
Oh.
for those who do not know yet what Hearts in the Gate is about, could you let us know what can we expect from this movie from you and Marco Grazzini?
Okay, first and very foremost, thank you for all of that. Thank you, thank you. Like you just, oh, thank you. Um, sorry,
You
guys.
okay?
I
You're
By the
okay.
way, everybody on the YouTube is gonna be like, oh, everybody on the podcast is gonna be like, yeah, stop coughing. Um, um, sorry everybody, but I'm almost better. Um, it's just that tail end of it when you just have the cough and you're like,
I feel it.
Anyway,
Mhm.
thank you for saying that. This movie was just such a perfect storm. I got When I got the offer and I got the script, um, Stacey Harding is a wonderful director who I had just worked with on something you'll know about soon that I can't talk about yet. But oh, Dara, I'm so
Oh
excited
man.
and you're gonna love it. And dear listeners and viewers, oh man, you guys, it's so special. But anyway, but I just fell in love with this woman. She's fire. And so when I got the offer, I saw her name and I was like, it's like, Stace, I'm gonna say yes because of you. So do you like it? Tell me about it. And she was like, yes. I was like, obviously I'm half kidding. I gotta read it and make sure it's like it feels like a fit. And then I found out Marco was doing it, and it's such a great story. It deals with I don't know if I'm allowed to say exactly what, but it deals with personal issue he's going through
Mm,
that's really vulnerable and really courageous, and it feels like part of their new direction they're headed
mm,
in in still being true to like the Hallmark romance and where love lives, and but expansive and inclusive, and something I think we've all been dealing with, like loss, and but how that can affect you and how that can affect your work. And it's really real, beautiful subject matter, and yet also super fun. And there are some definite silly moments, and Marco and I routinely on set would crack each other up. um but he's what a gift to work with him. He's I think he's I believe he might be doing another one right now for yeah. So he's definitely quickly become a lot of people's favorites, including mine. He's just a joy to work with. He is a beautifully talented human. He is not hard on the eyes, but he's so collaborative and lovely. And yeah, it was a gift. It was a joy. We had a fabulous time. Woo, we were cold, but we had a fabulous time.
Oh man. Now, okay, there's so many questions swirling in my head. I'll just pick one. Okay. Do you still like is there an element of nervousness that you get when you do these movies still or if ever at all?
Yes, I think it's interesting. So it doesn't feel sometimes like I don't feel too nervous, especially if it's a role where I'm like Penny Perry and Tatiana. You freaking I caught myself. You freaking nailed it. Like the girls really see me and see like things that are in my wheelhouse very comfortably. So that's always a joy, and that feels more just like going to play and work hard. It is
Mhm.
like you said, it is some hours of work. Can you hear my dog?
I can.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's so cute.
I think she's like, Mom, you're home, and why are you not hanging out with me?
Oh.
Um, so yeah, but this one I was genuinely between us, like between all of us chickens.
We're
I was a
sorry.
little nervous because yeah, thank you. Um, because this character is, I mean, she's definitely pieces of me, and that's all of our characters, right? Like you
Mhm.
pull from pieces of yourself and you mold and shape them to be these other people. And um this character was definitely a little more you know, I'm a little more like hats and jeans and well, no, I wear a lot of um anyway, she was just a different character that I'm used to playing. And
Hmm.
so there were times when I had to be like literally there were some moments when Stacey would call cut and she'd be like, so do it more like Hazel. And I'd be like, oh, that was Erin. That was more Erin. Got it. Got it.
Mm.
So that was super interesting and fun and challenging. And then, working with Marco, I think there's always like a day or two, or at least the first rehearsal where you're like, how's this going to go? And do we
Mm.
work similarly or do we work differently? Or, luckily Marco and I work pretty similarly. And so it was great. But yeah, I think it's natural to have. I actually thought it was cool that I was a little nervous this time. I was like, "Ooh, that's good. That means
Mm.
I'm being challenged and I'm stretching and you know, yeah."
So to go on that challenge vein, what would you say was the most difficult scene to shoot for you? Whether it was something like emotional or like a physical element of it, what would you say was the most challenging scene for you to shoot?
Ooh. Okay. Three come to mind. Can I,
Do yes,
is that, can I?
this is the crock pot. We
Okay.
simmer it. We let it
So,
go.
so, um, pardon me. So two were just physical, just because we were in Vancouver in February
Mm.
doing a spring movie. So, there were 2 days when we were all of us, not just me, but like not just me, Marco, like whoever was on set was so cold, and the crew looked like they were in the Arctic. They were like 18 layers and like like it was so
Wow.
cold, and like you'll never know. There's one scene or one day, a bunch of scenes in particular when it just looks like a beautiful spring day and we're on the baseball field, but we literally between takes we were all going like like the whole cast, because we were like trying to make each other laugh. But and I never asked for things like this, but all like a bunch of us had our ears exposed, and for some reason it was so cold and the wind, like all of our ears were freezing off. So I was like, guys, I can we all have earmuffs? Like the whole cast, whoever's extras, everybody whose ears are exposed. And so we got a bunch of earmuffs on set, and that like saved the day. Like I was like, I'm not gonna die. And then there was one scene, so that's like the day scene, and then the night scene. Marco and I were at the baseball field. It's such a fun scene, and when we would finish a take, Marco and I would just they would call cut. We would run. There was this van waiting like half a block down off set, so we would just like gun it to the van and get it, and we go. We're ready whenever they are. Yeah, it's good. So that was like physically, those are the two that pop up that I was like, oh, how do I even say lines? Like genuinely, one like after a couple takes, I was like, did we miss anything? Did we are we was that the scene? Like I was so cold. We were so cold. And then emotionally, there was one day, and you'll see it, it's like the all is lost moment.
Mm.
Um, you'll know which one I'm talking about. And I'm alone in my apartment, and then a couple other characters come in. And I'm just supposed to have it's like this really fun combination of crying, but like kind of comedy.
Mm.
So that was
Mhm.
really fun. That was really fun for me because I don't use tear sticks, which are no judgment. They're great. Lots of Oscar winners use them, but I haven't. So like that's just anyway. It's all good. Just not try what I try not to do, or But I'm not gonna say it never, never. Anyway, but so I was like crying, but also trying to find the comedy, but then also like I hope I don't dry myself out. Like it was just a very fun challenge. It was a very fun, challenging day, that one.
That's lovely. I
Yeah.
like hearing about that because then I guess it brings more value to the movie, I think, from a viewer's perspective, especially hearing about your challenging days, but also hearing how much fun you guys had on set that like you were
Oh,
able to actually enjoy what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if it feels like a chore, we see it's a chore. It comes off like a chore. So I just love hearing like how much you enjoy doing these. It's really, really cool.
and thank you for saying you can tell when it's fun and you can tell when it's a chore, because you never want that to be on camera, right? Unless it's a
Hmm.
scene where you're supposed to be struggling. You don't want
Hmm.
to have any struggle on camera.
Hmm.
So I hope that please may continue to have fun. And I've been so fortunate with my co-stars. Again, Penny, Tot, everybody over there. Thank you for who I've gotten to play with because it's just been like awesome guys, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that was just had to say that. Yeah.
you mentioned how much, joy and light and love that you just love about Hallmark. Was there a specific moment, not necessarily in the movie, but while you were filming, were you able to just step back and just go, "Gosh, I love this"? Like, you know what I mean? Like you just one of those moments that you had while filming this.
On on this one or just in Hallmark in general?
On this one specifically, did you have
On this
that?
one,
Hmm.
um, yes, there's there's a party scene and a very popular song comes on again. I don't want to ruin anything, and it's with this wonderful actress who played an old friend of mine. Beautiful human, beautiful, incredibly talented. You know her? She's in the Hallmark world. You'll see. And the song comes on, and we're dancing. And it was a party, and I looked over, and Marco's got this scene with this other great actor, and we're just like, I just had a moment where I was like, what is this life?
Mm.
My whole job right now. And Paul and Crumpet had just come to visit set, and everybody was just so cute about it. And I was like, what is like? I'm just thank you so much. Just so thankful. And I will say, definitely when I was leaving Canada with the three of the power suits that I got from my character, I was like, thank you. You're gonna see him at Christmas Con, girl.
Listen, if
I
anyone
was
knows
like,
how to work a
Christmas
power
Con.
suit, it's you. You are the queen of the power suits. And I want to let you know how far away I am from the mic that you can hear me this quick because I'm yelling. Like literally, you are queen of the power suits. I love it. I remember you had this red number at Robert Drama. I think it was during like karaoke with the
Christmas
stars.
Con.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was it was oh, that was a red onesie that I'm definitely going to repeat because I didn't really post anything about that. But the red suit was at Christmas Con.
Ooh, ma'am.
But thank you. But the red jumpsuit, the red one piece, I'm gonna oh maybe I'll wear that to or I'll save it for the next Rama drop. Whatever. It'll work out.
Ooh.
But thank you. Thank you. I do love a monochromatic outfit.
Your fashion in general is on point. I remember I watched you during the countdown to Christmas extravaganza holiday spectacular in Radio City. That was a lot of words, but you know what I mean, like the the kickoff. And I said, "Leave it to Erin coming in with the suit. Only you can deliver." Like I love it so much. Are you and even how you're dressed now? Like, do you have a bend to aesthetics and fashion? Like, is that something that you like that you're interested in?
uh I'm not just saying this again. Thank you. Thank you. Um, it's so funny. We had house guests and my friend's fiance was just like a couple times he was like Cahill with the style. And I was just like, thanks. I was talking to my husband about it today. I was like, that was so nice. And anyway, I do love fashion. For me, it's a form of art.
Mm. Hmm.
And I love it. I see it as an expression and like you never know what you're gonna get with me. Some days I'll be like lace thing up to here with a bun and like dangles. And then the next day I'll be like in black leather and biker boots and then the next day I'll be like in white tennis shoes and a t-shirt and jeans. Like I love it all. I really just love I see it as an expression. So thank you for noticing that. I
Oh,
really, really appreciate that.
oh, I peeped. I peeped. Absolutely. Um, so, Miss Erin, I just want to thank you for just spending your time with me here in the home of Dear Hallmark. I appreciate your presence so much, and I don't take this lightly. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here.
Dara, I have adored you since the minute I saw your radiant smile. We have been trying to make this happen. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm honored to be in the ranks of the people that have been here and just honored to spend the time with you, you joy bringer.
Ah, thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you. And guys, for the guys in the podcast that you can't see Dara, she's got this incredible red lipstick on. And I told her she inspired me because I've got some press for Hearts in the Game. So now I'm gonna wear red for some of my press.
Do it.
Mark my words.
Do it. Do it. Now, the last question I want to ask before you go, well, it's not really a question. It's more so of a moment. I just like my guests to just have the last word. So, really, whatever it is you want to say, whether it's about the movie, storytelling, this is just your moment to have with the listeners and the viewers.
Oh, I love that. Well, first of all, I keep thanking you, but I thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for listening, everybody for watching. I please watch Hall in the Hearts in the Game, Saturday, April 29th. Oh my God, I just had a panic that I got that wrong, but that's right, right? I was like, oh God, did I say it wrong? But Saturday, April 29th on Hallmark. And yeah, I'm proud of this one because the subject matter is really, it's something that's so important to talk about that I I don't know if it's talked about enough. So for that, I would say watch. And also, like I said, Marco's just so pretty. It's like a win-win. You just get to look at his pretty face the whole time. So yay. And but really all of our viewers, all of the Hallmark fans, thank you. I love each and every one of you so much, and I'm so grateful for to be able to tell these stories with Hallmark, and also to have you all on my side, our side. And here's to love. Here's to love in all its forms, and and getting to express that and being a community based on that.
Y'all, did y'all hear that? Hello, is this thing on? Can y'all hear that? You guys, y'all, if you want any more information about Dear Hallmark and all of our happenings and how we cut up on Instagram and stuff, there's links in the show notes if you're listening via podcast. And there's links in the description box if you're watching via YouTube. Well, my fine fellow feathered friends, her name is Erin and I'm Dara. And I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Ciao, my friend.
Bye. So much love.